Hey guys, welcome to the shop. This week we're going to be finishing up our reactor pulley that we started on last week and didn't finish. And we're going to be getting out a pretty crusty broken bolt out of a guard that was given to me. And some other stuff, of course, like always. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm just getting set up to cut this keyway. I just now stood this rotary table up, and now I need to make sure that the table is straight with the travel of the table, otherwise we'll cut a crooked keyway, and we don't want that. But first I need to make sure that my indicator is measuring. Let's bring it over and make a touch. 0. Now I'm going to raise and lower this table till I get right at the center of this shaft, and then we'll work the table back and forth, bumping this rotary table till we get that shaft pointing straight with the travel of the table. Alright, so I'm going to lower this whole table and knee down and look for my peak on my indicator. So there's my peak right there. Looks like about 4.5. Well, let's go back up. Try it again. It should be at 4.5 thou, and then should start dropping back off. See that? So I know that at 4.5, then the tip of my indicator is on the very center of the shaft. So now I can move this table back and forth and bump in this rotary table. So I love these leather hammers for bumping around, stuff like this. You wouldn't want to hit on this even with a brass hammer, really. So you could use the rubber hammers, but these leather ones are also great. Let's see. Wow, we're already good, just by luck. And dropping off just a little. That's good enough. No reason to fix good enough. So tighten this thing down, and then we can cut this keyway. Alright, so just using our edge finder here to get to the center. That's what we want to do. We want to cut our keyway in the center. So half of our 1/2 inch edge finder, that's 250. Half of our 3/4 inch shaft is the 375. So 375, 250, that is 625, 5/8 of an inch. So we need to move this 5/8 of an inch, and then we'll be on center. So 2, 4, 6, 25. There we go. That should be center. I'm just using the Engineer's Black Book here. All our keyway cutting information's in here. All this information is also in the Machinist Handbook, but this is definitely a condensed version. Half the stuff in the Machinist Handbook, you seldom use or never use. So, these are just a little more handy in my opinion. So let's cut this keyway. Alright, so that turned out really good. I think it did anyway. I haven't actually tried it yet, but according to the numbers it should work. It's a little tight, but I think it'll be alright. Either I'll just clean this key up a bit on the stone. Let's see how long we need to make it. This thing doesn't necessarily need a keyway. There's not very much force on that pulley, but it will protect this shaft from the set screw, because I'm 100% for sure somebody will crank down that set screw crazy hard and chew up the shaft otherwise. So what is that? About an inch. Alright. Please fit. And it does. It's pretty good. So now, if somebody takes this apart, they won't just ram the set screw into the shaft and mar it all up. So there we go. I'll put this together and everybody done. I think that's good enough. You fell over? Oh, you've been going through here?
No.
Oh. So you're stuck.
But this is where I want to go through. I mean, I couldn't lift up the bike because those little trees are in the way and I couldn't lift it up anyway.
Alright, well, we'll get it up. Wow, you got stuck down in here, didn't you?
Yeah. I started to roll down first right up there. And I started rolling and then I fell off and then I couldn't hold on to the bike no longer and I let it go. And I had the gas off and everything because I couldn't get it up no more.
Alright.
I was thinking about, I was trying to I've been trying to pull on the back to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help when it's hot up here.
No, it's hot. Oh, let me grab that.
This probably wouldn't be a bad part if I cleared this out to get up and then go up through there. That's where it fell down on that. There we go.
Alright, so I'm sticking the vise back on the mill. I got a broken bolt that I need to get out, and it's from this 6-inch wheel cover, grounded wheel cover for the cutter grinder. Dale Derry gave this to me, but he gave it to me with a broken off bolt in it, so no wonder he gave it to me. Let's get this broken bolt out. Hopefully it'll be easy. Hopefully. Alright, so I'm just, tramming in my vise at work. Nothing bothers me more than to get on a machine with the vise mounted to the table and somebody have not trimmed in. So good practice to always trim it in. I mean, even if no one else is going to use my machine, I may forget and use it not trimmed. So good idea to trim it no matter what you're going to do. Alright, so quick way to trim a vise, that, or at least the way that I do it, is I snug up one bolt really well, come to that side of the vise with the indicator, zero it, start moving across. Okay, so my needle is dropping, so I know that this vise is tilted that way. Then as I'm moving across, just tap it a little and keep tapping it till it stops moving at all. And then, that's pretty much it. You can usually trim one in 1 or 2 trips across, so it doesn't take you forever, So, for what I'm doing, that's plenty good enough, within a thou across the jaw. And that's pretty quick. And check it again after you tighten it, because sometimes they'll move. But yeah, so no damage to the jaw there, but within a half thou. So I don't know how well you can see that bolt is really broken off crazy on top. This is the top, and then of course it is all the way through, which is a good thing. So I'm going to try to get at it from this side, because without running a end mill on the top of that, I'd never have a flat spot to drill from. So that's what we're going to do. Try to push it out, the way that it come in, if we can, hopefully. Do my best to get the inch mark on the center of this thing, and then try to get that lined up in there. Man, that may be tough. I'm just going to do it by, I can drill it out if I have to and go oversized. So, and who knows, it may not even come out at all, and it may have to be drilled out. It's a hard bolt. Lost my vise handle. So if you can get away with it, a few heat cycles never hurt anything, as long as nothing's plastic, I guess. This thing's probably been broken off in here 60 years, I guess. We don't want to get it real hot, just heat it up a bit, let it cool down, heat it up, and let it cool down. And some penetrating oil. That's not gonna work. Ow, God, that's hot. Try it again. That bolt is hard. I just ruined the center drill. And I did. Try carbide. Alright, carbide drill, running it slow. onto it. And that bolt is hard. Alright, so a larger carbide drill. Hopefully I can get this thing out without damaging the threads, but it's not really looking good, to be honest. I don't guess it matters, but you know, it'd be nice to save the original threads. Hopefully this thing will push it on out. Okay, it's working. There we go. I was questioning whether that was going to work or not, but it did. So let's get this out of the vise and see if we can get a hold of that now on the back side. Put a little machinist jack so this thing wouldn't tilt. Yeah, almost. I was off center on this side. I guess it really made much difference now. I'm going to see if I can't maybe shove it easy out down in there and get it the rest of the way. Yeah, maybe I can do it by hand, yeah. Wow. Excellent. Well, there it is. Didn't damage a thing. Alright, so I did damage that carbide drill, so I have to sharpen that. But I got it out. So I'm going to run a tap through this thing, clean out those threads. It's 3/8/16. And then that's it. I'll get a bolt for this thing, and well, I don't have a holder for it, so it's not it. At least this is to a point to where I can, you know, there's nothing wrong with it now. So the peach tree is loaded this year. It's been loaded for the last 3 years in a row. Usually we don't get anything off of it. You know, we decide to pick it, you know, we'll wait till tomorrow and pick them. Well, the raccoons, I guess, are on the edge of the woods and they hear that. And they clean it out the night before, so we're going to beat them this time. How many you got? A few? Small, but plenty good enough. Like a pie or something.
Cobbler.
Cobbler, yeah. Be nice. Alright, so I'm really glad that that bolt come out of there for sure. This is my only guard for a straight wheel that I have at the moment. So you can see it's massive. It gets in the way a lot of times. It's good for anything bigger than 6-inch, you know, wheel. But you know, this fits just perfect. It's low profile, and after I make a mounting bracket for it, it should work really well. So it's nice. I'll have to paint that up. But I'm gonna, if I don't fix this broken carbide drill now, I'll stick it back in my drawer, and next time I need it, it'll be broke. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it off and then, you know, hand sharpen it. I'm gonna be using this little Shar's diamond cutoff wheel. did the split point by hand. I need to work up to that edge a little more, and then put the relief in by hand also. So, I don't know, you know, it's worth a shot. Get on there. So I got my Starrett RPM gauge here. It's an old one, as you can tell. This mini lathe does not have the digital display like a lot of the new ones have, so I'm just curious. It just seems slower than the one I have at work, so I want to check it. Alright, so it looks like 1700, you know, around 1780 RPM. So, for what that's worth, that's as fast as it goes. So that was in high range. So, and it says 0 to 2500 RPM, so it's not even close. So it was slower than I expected. Alright, so looks like we are 628 thousandths, so slightly over 3 thousandths, over 5/8 of an inch. The hole that I just reamed in that small block that I made is about 1.5 thou to 2 thou over 5/8. The reamer reamed it oversized for, you know, probably 100 different reasons, which is fine because I'm turning this shaft to size to fit the bore. So this should work. I'm going to press it in. Looks good. Alright, so we traveled forward in time a little bit, and I spared you a boring paint job and hardware installation on such a basic part. But, you know, as basic as this is, I needed it. There was several times where I run into issues where I basically couldn't run a wheel guard and with, you know, a setup that I was using, because the guard that I have for these straight wheels is so big. So I was glad Dale gave me that. Wow. Thank you, Dale. So there's our piece that I whipped up real quick. Let's put this on here. And that is definitely nice. That's about as minimal of a wheel guard as you can get, but it is extremely thick, so it will work. But you know, it won't be in the way, which is always the deal with you know, cutter grinder. So there we go. I like it. It's nice. That's a whole lot better than that. Alright guys, that's it. So we finished up the Keyway on the pulley that I started last week, or on the reactor pulley, and got that wheel guard where I can use it. Got out that broken bolt, painted it, you know, made the holder, all that good stuff. Simple stuff, but stuff that I wanted to do, stuff I needed to do. So now I don't have to mess with that big goofy wheel guard that I've been dealing with for the last year, and every time I go to use it, it's in the way. So this one being smaller is nice. So thank you, Dale. I really appreciate it. Go check out Dale's channel. It's built something cool. You probably already know him, but if you don't, go check him out. He's a super nice guy. He's the one that actually gave me that cutter grinder, you know, to begin with, the big one. So thanks. And I'm set up here on the shaper with the rotary table, as you can probably tell. Got a spline shaft here that I need to try to replicate. And this is an Instagram friend of mine who wants to bring back some discontinued parts to his customers. So I'm going to try to cut that. So I got to use a cutter grinder right now to grind the tool to cut those. So maybe we'll show that in the future. I'm not for sure, but look forward to that possibly. And some potential bash footage. You know, I've got some of that lined up that I need to put into video form for you guys. And that's it. Happy 4th of July, late 4th of July. If you need anything, contact me through my email. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I can't imagine a reason in the world why you wouldn't have already, but if you haven't, do so. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you next time.